This movie wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. It was worse. Hey everyone, I'm Jim and welcome back to My Movie Obsession, a place of film obsessors. If you're obsessed with retro movies and superhero movies, you're probably in the right place, and please consider hitting subscribe. So it's time to talk about the very controversial Captain Marvel, the movie that Brie Larson has been determined to tank since day one, as have Marvel Studios, as have Disney. They've been on their rocker with the way that they have marketed this film. So with all that considered, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to go into this film and think, they've screwed themselves over, let's just give Marvel a break. But this movie is a load of old arse. So let's start off with Brie Larson. This lady won an Oscar. An Oscar. And her performance resembles Kristen Stewart in fucking Twilight. This is a terrible performance, guys. You don't care about this woman remotely. And if you're going to kick up so much of a stink in the build up to this movie about this being an amazing empowerment movie for women, an amazing movie that we're excluding men from, that's pretty much what she said, you've got to present something on the screen. You can't be lifeless. And Brie Larson was bland, dull, and I did not care 1 second she was on screen. And you don't know anything about Captain Marvel, and this is one of the biggest problems with the film. The movie doesn't show you anything about Captain Marvel. It just tells you, this is what she's like, this is what she's like, this is what she's been through. We don't see any of it, we don't hear any of it. They just tell us what she's like, care. And the ultimate example of great storytelling is show, don't tell. One of the greatest things about Wonder Woman, why it's a great feminist film, is one, they didn't market it as a feminist film. They just said this is a film about an amazing human being, and that's how you should do it. You shouldn't bring politics into it. And two, you cared about Diana from minute one because she showed her compassion, she showed her love, she showed her personality, she showed what she was about. I don't know what Captain Marvel was about. I've just watched 2 hours of this shit and I know nothing about this woman. Nothing. Sod all. Now the cat in this movie is amazing, and you know you're in trouble when you care more about a cat than Captain Marvel. I want a movie about this cat, guys. This cat was awesome. I would literally watch a film called Captain Cat if it was about this cat. And obviously the cat didn't even talk, and I cared more about this cat than Captain Marvel. I got more invested. Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury was amazing, but it's Samuel L. Jackson. He's gonna be great. Samuel L. Jackson, enough said.
This is a tasty burger.
I really liked seeing the young Nick Fury. I thought this was an interesting take to go back and see how Nick Fury became how he was, and it was really good how they de-aged Samuel L. Jackson. I thought that was believable. But this is one of the other problems with the film. He had no chemistry with Brie Larson. Samuel L. Jackson was great on his own, but he had no chemistry with Brie Larson, and no one in this film has any chemistry whatsoever. I seriously wouldn't be surprised if all these actors acted on green screen and then were only put together sort of when they were making the film, because these actors don't feel or look or seem like they're talking to each other. There's just nothing between any of them. Ben Mendelsohn was a decent villain, and that was another small good part about the film. You know, this villain's actually quite intriguing. There's some layers to this villain. There's more layers to this villain than there is to Captain Marvel. I thought whenever he's on screen, I was invested. I wanted to know more. He was unique, he was interesting, and he had a unique look to him. And he was intimidating, so Ben Mendelsohn delivered as a great villain. But to be a great villain, you've got to have someone great coming up against you, and you just never got that showdown because Ben Mendelsohn was a good performance, but Brie Larson, she's just, This movie is obsessed with telling you it's the 90s. Every 5 seconds, do you believe us it's the 90s? Well, here's a 90s song. 5 seconds later, do you believe us it's the 90s? Well, here's another 90s song. And here's another 90s song. And here's another 90s song. And here's a song about being a girl in the 90s. 90s, 90s, 90s. Fucking 90s. Buy it. I'm surprised the bloody Spice Girls didn't turn up and team up with Captain Marvel. This was just 90s personified, shoved in your face. And I love the 90s. But setting movies in time periods is a very difficult thing to do. If you just push it in someone's face and say, look, it's the 90s, right? It just gets annoying. This movie has one of the problems that Suicide Squad does, which is song. It's just trying to create a mood, trying to push a mood down your throat, instead of actually using storytelling to create a mood and characters to create a mood. It's just, here's a song, Does it make you feel this? Well, there you go, we don't have to tell the story then, because you're feeling it because of this song. And here's another one, and here's another, and here's another. I've got a 90s playlist, right? I can play it whenever I want. Another problem with this film is it doesn't feel like the MCU. It was really off-putting. I was sitting there going, they built up this universe for years and years and years. This film doesn't even feel like it's part of it. It actually reminded me of Batman v Superman in parts because it's so inconsistent. It actually feels cobbled together. It feels like a collection of scenes. It doesn't feel coherent. There's no coherent story to this, and there's constant mood shifts and like they're experimenting on screen, and it just strips away everything about the MCU and kind of goes down its own path, which I don't like. I mean, it's ambitious, I guess, and I think we have to go a different direction after Endgame, but we can't go this direction because this is just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Of course the action scenes are great, but I just didn't care, guys. I really didn't care. The lead was bland, the villain was great, but he had no one to work with. Samuel L. Jackson was great. The action scenes, they're going to be great because look how much money goes into the film. They have to be great, but if you don't care, that's it. You know, and maybe it wasn't 1,000,000% Brie Larson's fault, it's just the script and the way these characters interacted and the storytelling. There was nothing to get behind. There was no clear kind of message of Captain Marvel. It was just like they thought to themselves, let's push this feminist narrative leading up to the film, but the film can't back it up. The film can't back up what we've built up. Whereas Wonder Woman didn't build up a narrative leading up to the film. It just said, here's a great female strong character. She's a great human being. This one, they built up and up, and they couldn't deliver. They couldn't deliver. If you're going to tell me that Captain Marvel's this amazing icon for, you know, teenage girls, and she's, you know, men, you know, it's not for you, so, you know, get out the way and make way for Captain Marvel. At least make her film bloody good. And you didn't. You made it pants. So what do you guys think of Captain Marvel? Have I been too harsh on it? I really did go into this with an open mind, guys, and I was just sitting there getting bored and bored and bored. What do you guys think of Captain Marvel? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe if you're obsessed with retro movies and superhero movies. I've got many more reviews planned. So thanks for watching everyone, and I will see you next time.